real-time big data architectures. And the contents is introduction, Lambda architecture, pros and cons of Lambda architecture, the Kappa architecture, pros and cons of the Kappa architectures, conclusions and the references there. Firstly, we can discuss about the introduction of the big data. Big data is we are likely talking about big data. We also expect to push the limits of volume, velocity, and the possibly even variety of database. Means we have a lot of the resources to store the generate the database like the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, mobiles, laptops, computers, etc. We have generated the data and we are stored on the big data. That is the introduction of the big database. Real-time data processing often require quality such as scalability, fault tolerance, predictability, resilience against stream performance, and must be extensible. We have execute our database in the real time, or we have execute at the we have required, then we have execute the our database. Now we have discussed about the real time data processing. In the real time processing we have two architecture is there. The one is the Lambda architecture and second is the Kappa architecture. The firstly we have discussed about the Lambda architecture. What is the Lambda architecture? Lambda architecture is the streaming data to stream all the database real telecast streaming etc. Suppose we have static streaming data. The two architecture, the two facilities there. The first one is the batch layer. Batch layer means we have firstly store our database in the storage device. After then we have categorized in the batch system. We have categorized is the videos, is the PPTs, is the Excel sheet, is the Word sheet, etc. We have categorized this, and after then we have executed in the batches. Okay, first batch 1 and the batch 2, etc. We have executed, everything is there. And the second point is there, we have like the live telecast in the second phase, speed layer. Second one is the speed layer. We have executed, everything is there in the speed layer. Is first in this diagram you can see the firstly we have data come on the speed layer, stream processes here. After then it executed in the different resources. For example, we have a live event in any organization, any place is there, and we have telecasted by the YouTube, by the channels, or any other method by the telecast, online telecast. And direct streaming no need to be here recorded because it's the live streaming. But in the batch system we have recorded option, but in the stream process there we have no any recording option is there. The data stream entering the system is dual fed into both batch and speed layer. The batch layer stores the raw data as it arrives, clear, as it arrives, and computes the batches, view the consumptions. Naturally, batch processing will occur on the some interval and will be long lived. The scope of data is anywhere from the hours of the year. Hours of year. We can say in the batch system. Firstly, we have data stored in our hard disk, laptop, memory card, computer, clouds, etc. anywhere. After then we have executed it to live streaming. Firstly we have downloaded, after then we have live streaming. For example, in YouTube you have just firstly download the videos, and after then when you have the time you can play this video and watch the everything is there, clear. And second is the speed layer. In the speed layer, and in the speed layer we have directly executed, like the for same example YouTube, we need not to be downloaded it, we can just live streaming on the spot, we have play and watch the video. No need to be stored and no need to be filled our drives. We have just done in the online. And what is the pros and cons of the Lambda architecture? Firstly we can discuss about the pros. Batch layer of the Firstly, we have discussed the pros. A bach layer of the lambda architecture manages historical data, understand, historical data and data with the fault tolerance distributions, storage which ensure low possibility of errors even the system is crashes. For example, we have firstly we have stored the database in our drive, or we can take the backup for the all the database, and after then we can run it. In this case we have low errors occurs is there because we have already downloaded the database. For example, sometime we have downloaded the video from the YouTube, and we after then we can play. There is when you need to be play, then it is not compulsory internet is run or not run. If your internet is off, your internet is not available there, then you can also run the your videos files. But it is good balance, it is the good balance for speed and reliability. Good balance, how we can say good balance? Good balance, why? Because we have downloaded file, then we have in our memory base, in the memory storage device we have the database, and after then we can run it, then it is reliable. Because sometimes live streaming we have see the stealing and so many problem is there, but in the lambda architecture we have no any stealing is there, no any internet connectivity is required there. We have easily run our videos or we can execute our files. And third one is the fault tolerance. If we have downloaded files, then low chances for the errors occurring is there, because we have available all the file on our drives. That's why we have executed very easily. And what is the cons for the lambda architecture? It can result in the coding overhead due to involvement of the comprehensive processing, because it's executed the so many steps is there, like that you have need to be downloaded, then check your memory, check your internet speed, you have the picture quality, everything is checked there, then it's taking the time processing activities. And the pre-processing every batch cycle, which is not beneficial in certain scenarios. For sometimes we have see the live events and we have not required the recording there, how many persons recorded the live cricket match. Nobody's recorded the live cricket match, they have only watched and forget it, everything is there. That's why the is this process we are not executable in these cases. And the next one is the lambda architecture difficult to migrate or recognition. Difficult to migrate means we have not updated everything and we are not contributing to another files, we have just downloaded and we have executed, we cannot migrate from the one devices to another device or any other resources. And the next one is our kappa architecture. The kappa architecture, basically we have live streaming architectures, and here only the single phase is the streaming data, only the streaming data, and we can execute only the files on the real time layer, and executed in the different resources. We have executed, everything is there. It focus on only processing data, it focus only processing data, it focus only processing data as a stream. It is not a replacement for the lambda architecture, but because they have the downloaded and memory is there, but in the streaming data we have no memory, and we have directly stream the data. And the idea of the handle both real-time data processing and continuous responding in a single streaming process engine means we have only the real-time database executed, we have not storage and then not any memories there, then we have storage the devices there, data is there. Kappa architecture can be deployed for this data processing enterprises model where multiple data events multiple data event or queries are logged in a queue to be catered. Again, a distributed file system storage of or history means we have organized a multiple events like the 2 or 3 places, and we have live telecast from there, then we have using this, and the order of the event and query is not predetermined. and the second one thing is it is not predetermined thing, because we have just live streaming, we have no need to be recording there. If we want to be recording, then we have required the hard disk, memory, etc. If we have only streaming, then we have not need to be storage devices. That's we can say it is the it is not a predetermined. Stream processing platform can interact with database at any time. And for example, news channels, they have the moving here and there, and they see anything is there, and they have on the spot they have live telecast, on the spot live telecast in the news channels. They have not the determined, they have not the predetermined, they have just go anywhere and executed the live streaming. Clear? And we can use the kappa architecture is there. And the pros and cons is there. And the pros is kappa architecture can be used to deploy data system that are the online and therefore don't need to be batch layer. Clear? And we have just like we are taking the online classes, online students we have teach, and that time we have no need to be there recorded or batch system is there, like we have the copies from the hard disk, copy from the cloud or etc. there we just face to face interaction, and we teach, and student learn from their online classes. Pre-processing is required only when the code change. For example, if we have the system, if we have the plan for everything, then we have need to be pre-processing, like how to be live telecast is there, how we live streaming is there, that's etc. it can be deployed with the fixed memory. Here we can say is the deployed with the fixed memory. We need not to be external memory, or we have not be increasing the memory, we just executed it there with the fixed memory. It can be used the horizontally scalability system. Forever resources are required to the machine learning is being done the real time basis. For example, sometimes we have like the drone, we have moving here to there, and we see on our screen where the drone is moving there, then we can see what executed there, then we can connect it with the machine learning, with machine learning drone, and we have real time streaming. Everything is we have connected with the kappa architecture. And the cons for the kappa architecture is absence of the batch layer might result errors. We can occurs the errors because it's the live streaming, and maybe sometimes signal is not there, sometimes internet is not there, then we have facing the problems of the data processing. On while updating and database that require have to exceptions manager to reprocess the data, or the reconciliation means we have required a one manager type person to who have reconnected, and we have restart from the everything is there. After then we can live streaming and live telecast we can watch and we can see, and we can execute this. And what is the conclusion after you can see the kappa architecture and the lambda architecture? We can see, if you see you are an architecture that is more reliable in updating the data lake as well as efficient in devising the machine learning models to predict upcoming event in a robust manner, you should use the lambda architecture, as it reap the benefit of the batch layer and the speed layer to ensure less errors and the speed. Clear? Less errors and the speed means, for example, we have the storage device, we have live streaming, and we need to be recorded it, then we can use the lambda architecture, because it has the batch our memory is the batch layers, and after then we have streaming everything, then it is more reliable compared to kappa architecture. And the second one is, on the other hand, if you want to deploy big data architecture by using less expensive hardware, means we have not using the hard disk, or you have expensive devices and other companies that are store your database. In this case, you have used only the live streaming required, then you can use the kappa architecture required to deadly effective on the basis of the unique event occurring on the runtime. Then selected the kappa architecture for the real-time database processing needs. Clear? And finally we can say the kappa have the some features like the Lambda architecture, but Lambda architecture have the two option is there, like the batch streaming and the live streaming. Live streaming option is there, you can store there, you can execute it everything in the Lambda architecture. But on the other hand, you can only the live streaming in the cup architecture. Clear? Okay, thanks students.